Hey, 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 hey. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. I am so excited that you guys are here joining us tonight. It is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating entrepreneurs who are doing the thing as a full time entrepreneur business owner, um, really getting into the meat and potatoes of entrepreneurship, where they fired their boss and now they're working full time in their business, and it's all as a result of better budgeting and better money management. I am the Nicole Johnson, founder and CEO of Girl Your Money Matters, aka as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. And as always, I always have some co-hosts here with me tonight, and I'm even more excited about our special guest because she's going to she's going to speak to that proverbial straw that made her leave her 9 to 5, but even more so, just how, as she said, life be life and from moment to moment. And she's going to speak to an incident that happened just as she was getting ready to come live with us. And this is what I want you guys to understand: our finances are our key to our peace and tranquility. Okay, so let me say this another way: life happenings hit differently when our finances are in order. All right. So let's come on and bring our co-host. We got DJ, as always, DJ Tony Sanchez showing up. Say hey to the people, DJ Tony.
Hey. Happy Monday, happy Monday. What's going on, my queen? How was your
Yeah.
weekend?
My weekend was great. It took a little bit of my voice, but that's another story for another time because it's coming back better than what it was, but it ain't always there yet. But I'm glad to be here, and I wouldn't have missed it because our guest has some mishaps, but she's still showing up live and in color, and I can't wait. We also have your girl Paulette, the founder and CEO of the Brownstone Worldwide.
Boss lady in the house, boss lady in the house, and we
You
call
got
her
to
stuff in her
stay
face.
ready, girl.
We call her stuff in her face. Oh, Hercules,
Listen,
Hercules.
Paula, listen. It's all right. It's all right. We get down and then color up in here. It's okay. Eat, drink,
Yeah,
and be merry. Put your feet up if you need to.
if you
So
That
need
part.
to.
say,
Amen.
say hi
Amen.
to the people.
Hey y'all, how you doing? I was eating my salad, my Asian salad, and so hi, hey.
Listen. We got to do one thing. We got to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And honey, eating healthy means being ready. So
Yeah.
listen, as we are going through the month of March, we are recognizing women who look like us. And I'm always down to celebrate a black woman who has achieved uh, anything that she has set her mind to. I don't care what it is, even if it's just that first step, if it's the epitome of her dream, and now she is actually moving towards a new plateau in her life and her work and whatever else she's doing. So I'm excited about showcasing black women doing it and doing it well. Okay, all this month long. I'm so excited. I'm having a lot of fun, but I want the audience to understand that we want you to see everything is possible when you lean in and do the work. It's not going to come to you by osmosis. You can't put it on a wish list and wish hard for it and close your eyes and click your heels. We are not in the land of Oz. Everything that you want to accomplish comes with some responsibilities. It comes with some things that you've got to do. Leaning in, hard work, don't give up, all of that. And so, what I'm going to do now, this young lady, and I mean, she's a young lady. She's a young lady. I'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I had to check that birth certificate. Ma'am, what we doing full time? And you what? Okay. So proud of her accomplishments. So proud of what she's doing, and really living a life that she she wants to live and on her own terms. So, as the founder and CEO of DRH Consulting Agency, she works with small business owners. And I'm not going to tell you all of that. I want her to tell her experience and what she's doing to serve the people of her community. So, I want you guys to welcome Miss Dejana Higgs to our stream tonight. Hey, Dejana. Yay.
Hey,
Hey.
Nicole. Hey, Miss Paulette.
Hey,
Ooh,
yeah, she young. She said Miss Paulette.
I'm not that young.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
But I'll take that. How are y'all
I'm
doing?
teasing. I'm teasing you.
Listen, when I moved to the South and everybody was yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, I was like, you yes, ma'am, me one more time.
Yeah.
That's the way I was brought up. I don't care. Ma'am, it's for old people. And when I kept hearing it, I was like, Lord, I may as well just go and face it. I'm in the old people category. I'm in the old people category. But it's all right. It's all right. Listen, Dejana had some challenges getting here today, but we're going to get to that in a minute. What I want her to do is to go ahead and tell us a little bit about DRH Consulting and how we got to that.
Okay, well, DRH Consulting, it's a full service consulting agency. Um, we work with small businesses as well as some corporate companies, but I do everything outside of branding and marketing. I don't touch anything that has to do with branding, anything that has to do with marketing. I stay in my lane. So, the agency was actually birthed from me providing small business consulting services for the marketing chicks for her clients. I started as a sales agent with her, and then I branched off and created my own agency. I started with her actually while I was in school obtaining my MBA as an adult student. And I learned after getting that MBA that didn't mean anything in the corporate world. I didn't look how I needed to look, right? So once I realized that I was just going to be their pawn, they wanted me to do all the work without the pay and the title, I knew I had to look out for me. And so that's kind of how that all came into play.
So that is the epitome of these jobs ain't loyal. If you've been following me,
These jobs ain't loyal. They
you
not
have heard
loyal.
me say that again and again and again. These jobs ain't loyal, and they will downsize, lay off, anything that they need to do to keep the doors of their company open,
Right.
and it's at the expense of people because whether you are a mom or dad, a child of someone, your finances coming into your household impact other people.
That's right.
So when they lay off executives, they're like, oh, well, they was making a good sort of money. Well, guess what? They had a good sort of amount of bills because as an executive, you're probably paying for private school for one or two children. You're probably supporting a child through college. You're probably in a very nice home. So your family has gotten accustomed to that lifestyle. And in this economy and the job market, it's not always just like that, where a headhunter is knocking at your door 10 minutes after you've been let go and trying to help you find another job. This is a different environment that we're working on. So, Dejana, I am excited that you recognized early on that these jobs ain't loyal. But let me ask you a question. What was that one thing? Like, I know it was the overall theme of recognizing, as Pauletta say, the handwriting on the wall. Like you can
Mhm.
see things coming, right? You like, this I maybe got another year or two. But what was that one thing that you was like, I'm out?
So I'll be honest with you. I was forced out, like you said about the layoff. So I remember when I got the job, I was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna find a good job that makes decent money, right?" That's where my headspace was at. And then I got
Mm-hmm.
the job and I was making some decent money and I was afraid of losing it. And I was like, Lord, I don't want to lose this job.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had a huge layoff. So I was in the layoff. And
Mm-hmm.
so at the time, I would say maybe a month before the layoff, I had started a little boutique. I started selling clothes online and shoes and stuff like that. Um, so when they did the layoff, I had to get creative and figure out how I was going to pay these bills. You know, I was able to get some little unemployment, but like you said, you have bills to pay.
That's
So
right.
I had just gotten a new vehicle. I had just
Mhm.
moved into like a luxury apartment complex. I had upgraded my lifestyle, you know, because I'm like, I'm out of the
Right.
struggle now. You know, the struggle life was there and I'm coming up out of it. So I'm elevating myself, elevating my lifestyle.
Right.
No sooner than I elevated, they took it away. I had just got a new car maybe 3 months before that. And when I got the car, I remember saying, um, it was a nice car note, you know, and I was like, oh, this is a lot. But I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm jumping into this ocean and I'm gonna work this out. This is mine. I deserve it. I want it. And then when I got laid off, I remember being nervous, like, you know, what am I gonna do? But I started
Mhm.
being creative with making income. And that's when I told Nicole, because I had actually hired her to do marketing for the boutique. So then I told
Mhm.
her, I was like, you know, I can do sales, you know, because now I'm getting creative. I got to figure it out. So I started doing sales with her. Now, this was December, this was October 2016. I have not been back to work since. And now I'm scared of ever having to go back to another job, you know. So you know, I'm like, I can't do it. I'm scared of my only fear is having to go work for somebody else. And I got to thinking, you know, how is it that somebody can tell me how much they're gonna pay me to
Come
come in
on.
and work for them? You
Come
know what I'm
on.
saying? Like, you gonna tell me how much my labor is worth? That wasn't matching. You know, and
That
I
part.
realized that as long as I have this job, there will always be a glass ceiling. They're only going to let me make what they want me to make. That's giving them too much
Yes.
power.
Too
That's giving them
much.
too much
Yes.
power. Even in my lowest days as an entrepreneur, it still outweighs my highest days as an employee working for
Come
that
on,
company.
girl.
You know,
Come
Yeah.
helping
on.
them build
You
something
know
for
what?
their families, and while they're taking vacations, I gotta ask you to take time off. You know, I gotta ask you to go to my daughter's basketball game,
Basketball
or
game.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, take a vacation. Like, it just wasn't adding up for me. And at the time, my mom, because she's traditional, you know, and she's like, you need to just focus on getting you a job. You got to work that job. You retire that job. You know, that's what I was taught. We weren't taught about, you know, different ways to make money, and just how to believe in yourself in that other spectrum. But now my mom sees that this works. You know, she believes in me. She told me one day, I knew I was doing better and I was good when she said, I'm thinking about going ahead and retiring, and I'll move down there to Texas and come work with you and help you with your business.
Mm.
That was a pivotal moment for me, because I was like,
Yes.
wow, you know, that
Mom
was
saw
amazing
your
for me.
self worth. Look at that.
Yeah,
Mom
you know
saw
what I'm
the self
saying?
worth.
Yeah,
And
I'm
you
like,
know
okay,
what?
she gets it.
That's an amazing testimony, Dejana, because and shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom. We're
Yes.
gonna talk about what just happened with your mom too. We're gonna talk about that a little bit, because I love it when the family supports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that I do see a lot is entrepreneurs saying they don't really have a lot of people to talk to about being an entrepreneur, because the people closest to them are like, you need to get a job. You need to get a job. This ain't working. This ain't going to work. And it's hard for your mindset, that person that you love the most, the one that you think is gonna always support you, is
Mm-hmm.
like, Booski, you need a more defined paycheck other than
Yep.
the little business. And I love it when they say they called it a little
A
biz.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
little business or that little hobby over there. But
Yeah.
and I usually don't go this far ahead, but that little hobby just did what for your mom?
Yeah. I took my mom on a vacation for her birthday. And I didn't plan this a year ago. I planned it the week before we left. She said, I'm coming down there with you for my birthday for a week. So I was like, you know what? Let me see. I said, send me a picture of your passport. This is what the temperature is going to look like. I'm going to surprise you. I got a surprise for you. So when she got here, I took her on a vacation to Cancun. We actually went to Cancun for like a
Woo.
week. And we stayed on an all-inclusive resort, and I took her to a really nice, you know, restaurant. We ate on the water. We did a little sunset cruise. We just had a good time. And I told her, put your wallet up. You know, you don't need anything. But it made me, I felt really good to be able to do that for her. You know what I'm saying? And it's times like that when I realize, like, okay, because when we're in the business, we're in it. We don't realize how well we're doing because we're so
Right.
busy
Because
working
we
in
too
the business.
focused.
Yeah,
We
we're
too
focused.
focused.
We're grinding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're in grind mode. So you don't even
Mhm.
really get to sit back and take it all in and realize how far you've really come and the different things that you're doing that impact the people that are around you. Because
Yeah.
now not only am I an entrepreneur, I'm the oldest of with my mom, I'm the oldest of four. All my other siblings are entrepreneurs now as well.
Mhm.
And
So you
they look
paved
to
the way.
me. Yeah, they look to me
Hmm.
for different things when it comes to that. And they trusted my process and they watched me. And I even had when I had the hook, because I call myself a serial entrepreneur. So outside of consulting, I have other businesses that I have as well. But I had a hookah company. I was the first all women and I'm gonna
Oh,
attest to that, all women hookah company in Houston back in 2017.
17.
And my sisters came down to help me with my business because they saw it, they trusted it, and they came down to help work with me. And I'm like, wow, I'm putting food on the table for me and them. That was a good feeling,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And it's been good from there, to be honest.
That's a perfect example of each one reach one and teach one,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you're not only involving them in your business so that they can see the inner workings and things like that now, because I saw a picture, a post you made on your page where you talked about how close you are with your sisters and
Hmm.
how um you're so honored to be able to impact their lives with the
Hmm.
decisions that they're making. And
Right.
so as the child who is also the oldest, it is important that the things that we do make an impact for those that are coming behind us, because mom was working while you guys were growing up, I would
Hmm.
say. And
Yep.
so you guys, if you were anything like me, I was a latchkey kid. And there
Hmm.
were times I
Yep.
had to, not only was I a latchkey kid for myself, my younger sister.
Hmm.
But who at 9, 10 years old and you walking home from school with your sister got to use the key to get in the house.
Right.
You
Hmm.
okay? So the things that you do, no matter what you tell them, it's what you show them
Show
that's
them. Yeah.
going to matter. So I appreciate you sharing that. So right now we're going to do a little station break. This is the Nicole Johnson, the founder and CEO of Girl Your Money Matters, which is affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. And what I want you guys to do is recognize that we are in a pivotal moment. Not only are we in the midst of Women's History Month, we are also preparing for our April Financial Summit. And in order to prepare for the summit, forgive me because I left part of my voice in Houston this past weekend. That's another show. That's another show. Um, there are 10 tips that you can download to get started with better money management. Okay, there are things that you can implement now because a lot of people think they got to go big to get started. And we want to walk you through baby steps into money management, because that is the pivotal key for any entrepreneur to be able to stay off the 9 to 5. You got
Hmm.
to, you don't just fire the boss. You got to make it so that you never look back to go
Right.
back to the boss. And if you do it right, I'm gonna just go on and say it. Sometimes you might hire your boss because now they done got in line. But hey, 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 hey. And what I love is that Dejana has come into an environment where somebody she says she worked for the marketing chicks. Love that chick to death, and we have the same name, so she's already a cool girl. Her name is Nicole. She's out of Houston. She does some great work with some big, I ain't gonna tell all her business, but just a little bit. She has been doing commercial and business consulting for years, and she does a magnificent job. You guys may have seen some of her stuff that at the Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl before that, and the
Hmm.
Super Bowl before that.
All right now.
Yes,
All right.
I'm putting just a little bit of her business out in the street.
Yeah, you
But
put that
I
back.
love the job that she does. And I heard Dejana say that at first she hired Nicole, and then she began to work with Nicole. And now when you work with Nicole, you work with Dejana, because
Right.
two very distinct lanes in what they do. Did you heard Dejana say she does all the financial planning for the small business owner? She's going to help you see the business side. Nicole is going to do the marketing and the branding side, and together they are an awesome team. And so Dejana, I want to speak to how now, and before I go there, let me not forget to pay homage to the Brownstone Worldwide, where we are using our platform to change the narrative of our Black and Brown community. Because as I always say, we have had the experiences where the stories have been told wrong, but in 40, 50 years from now, if they're still being told wrong, it's our fault.
That's right.
That their part.
Amen.
So, Dejana, when you think about money management, right? And I've seen her do her thing.
Pop that down.
It's still in my email. I still look at it and be like, I wish to be that organized one day. She does an excellent job. She provides excellent service. But I want to speak to how that money management helps you, and if you want to talk about what had happened
Yes, honey.
you want to talk about on today when
On
she
today.
was leaving the wait a minute, not the office, her office.
Her office.
That's different. That's this. She was leaving her office, and go ahead. Look. Let me get the smaller fan. That one.
I was on my way, right? So I seen the police officer behind me, and I'm like, well, I know he's not pulling me over because I'm not speeding. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I have a proper toll tag, you know. Well, lo and behold, he followed me right on off the highway and pulled me right on over. So apparently, there's two different toll authorities in Texas that I didn't realize there was. So the Fort Bend County, I owed money to. I didn't know. So he put me over, y'all. He gave me this. You see this
Oh,
number,
Lord.
so you know I'm not playing. $1,651.70.
For what?
Made me pay it on the spot. I had to call them and pay $1,600, or else they were going to tow my car. And he said he would politely drive me home, but my car had to be towed if I didn't pay it. So, you know, I got on the phone with the lady. She's like, well, you know, I can give you some time if you need to call some people, you know what I'm saying, to help so you can get your money together to pay it. So I was like, okay. I said, well, you know, I don't need time. Let's just go ahead and take care of it. But, you know, yeah, you know, but I was like, if, like I told Nicole, if I didn't have good money management, I wouldn't have had $1,651. I was a little distraught about it, but it didn't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I was able to pay, and I just thank God that I had this to do. But that really comes from, you know, managing your money. So for me, I can give you want me to go ahead and go into the money management, what I would do and what I do and advise my clients. So as a small business owner, you really need to have your money in more than one place, right? I noticed that a lot of my clients, they're living out of their business accounts. So they're using that one account where the revenue's coming in, and they're swiping that card as if that's their personal money. That's not your money. That's not your money. You know, that is the business's money. And if you want to grow and scale that business, you have to properly appropriate your funds. So if you're bringing in, let's say you're a company that brings in money daily, weekly, you know, it depends on how your money is getting, how your business accumulates its revenue. You should have a certain percentage of your money. I always say have a tax account, have your personal checking, you have your business account, and then you have your savings. To me, that's a start. You know what I'm saying? So, your tax account, a certain percentage of every dollar that hits your account should automatically be transferred into that tax account. Now, the textbook rule of thumb is 30%, but you know your business is going to have expenses and things like that. So you're not going to necessarily have to pay, you know, 30% of all of the revenue per se in taxes, but at least do 20%. And I say have it automatically transferred when it hits, so that way you will never miss what you never had. And once you get into the habit of that, you know, it becomes habitual. You out of sight, out of mind. You may have gotten a $2,000 payment, but you already know, you know, $600 of that is going to your tax account. So really, I got 2,000, but in my mind, I only got 1,400. That's all I'm seeing because it's already automatically being transferred to my tax account. Then you should be paying yourself. Set yourself up, whether it's a salary or however it is you want to pay yourself, because every business is different. It depends on how the business accumulates its revenue. Set yourself up to pay yourself. You can pay yourself as a W-2 employee under your business, or however you want to do it, that's really on you. But when I say pay yourself, I mean, don't live out of that business account. That's not your money. That is your business's money. You cannot scale the business if you're swiping that business card. These are lessons that this is not textbook knowledge. This is personal experience, as well as, intertwined with some textbook knowledge. I used to live out of my business account. I felt like I had money. No, sis, you don't have no money. What are you doing? That's not your money. You robbing yourself. You robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you Peter and Paul. What you doing?
You're stealing from yourself.
Your business needs you. Don't need that money. So, for instance, so again, you should be sending a percentage of your money to your tax account. Pay yourself whatever your percentage salary is going to be, and it should be paid as you can pay it off of your gross or your net, however you want to do it. You can have your CPA set it up, or if you work with ADP or whoever you work with, they can actually set that up to be transferred to these different accounts for you, so you don't have to worry about doing that yourself. Get with a financial consultant that can sit down, look at your businesses and your budget and your finances and tell you what you should be transferring when it comes to paying yourself and things like that. Every business should do a growth plan and a financial plan at least once a year. I say that because if you're not planning, you're planning to fail, right? So if you don't know what you're doing over the next 12 months, I say you're hustling. And you're hustling backwards, really, because you're just kind of moving along, you know what I'm saying, without a plan. So the growth plan basically is created to say, okay, quarter one, this is what I plan on doing for the business. Quarter two, we're going to roll this out. Quarter three, we're just going to focus on our customer service, protocols or whatever the case may be. Quarter four, we're going to hire a new this or whatever, a new assistant, a new marketing agency, or whatever it takes to make the business grow. Then you create the financial plan that pairs with the growth plan, and the financial plan will show you how the growth plan will impact your finances. So if you're rolling new products or services out, these are the financial projections. This is what it's going to cost to do it. If you're needing to hire new staff, this is what it's going to cost to do it. A lot of people think of your financial plan as just like products and services and things like that, but that back end of the business needs to be accounted for. You should always be growing the back end of your business, because if you are still doing things the same way, you're going to continue to render the same results. That's with life, period. And it's the same thing in business. But a lot of business owners, I find, they skip the back end. They're not business savvy and they're not money savvy. So they skip all the back end. They say, I got a logo, a website, and an LLC. I'm ready. What you ready to do, sis? Where you going?
Stop, girl, stop. Stop. You talking to 99% of the audience. I'm going to need you to stop.
Let me tell you something. I get it all the time. And they want to go straight to the code. They want to go straight to her because she do the pretty stuff.
Listen.
And she be like, what am I marketing?
You telling all the truth. And for those of you who are watching in the audience or catching this on the replay across our social media channels, go and put your toes up, because she done stepped out on them, okay? 110%. But her website is right across the bottom, hiredrhconsulting.com, because these are the services that you must have to be successful in your business. We're not talking about keeping the doors of the website open, right? Because anybody can do that. We're talking about building, scaling, and then being able to do those things that are important to you. So it was important to her for her mom to say, hey, I'm coming and I'm going to help you. It was important for her sisters to come and say, listen, we coming to help. And then she could turn around and say, Mom, I'm taking you on vacation for your birthday. And this wasn't something that was planned months and months in advance, barely 7 days. Right. But she's also, as a result of good money management and budgeting, listen, that $1,600 wasn't no slice of pie.
They
Okay,
sure will.
we talking about a turkey leg. We talking about some dirty rice. We talking about a biscuit, a cold drink to wash it down, and a slice of key lime pie. That was a whole meal and then some. I can
Yeah.
gain 5 pounds talking about that meal right there. Howsoever, she was, ma'am, I don't need no time. Let's get with it. Now, if I know Dejana, she done already figured out a way to replace that $1,600. And
And
if
you
she
know
ain't,
this.
So,
You know
all the way
this.
home, I said, "Oh, I got
Oh,
to recoup this." I'm out.
yeah. Yeah.
okay, she done already figured out how somebody getting a phone call tomorrow. She going
You
through the
better know it.
invoices, making sure they all pay. But baby, you know what? As a matter of fact, I think you need this. I think you need that. Here's an add-on for you. Here's an upsell, a bump sale, and we ain't doing nothing down sale. We staying up top.
Up
We
here.
staying up top. You hear what I say?
Yeah.
So I already know she got a plan. See how she talked about the growth plan. She
Yeah.
made a growth plan adjustment on the way home from that $1,600 deficit that just came about. Because I'm sure that was not in her mindset budget, but it was in her bank account budget. See, did you hear what I just said? It wasn't in her
Girl,
mindset budget. It
go
was
ahead
in
with.
her bank account
Right.
budget.
Mm.
And
And she
listen,
made that executive decision on the
because
spot.
life happens every day you open your eyes, life is going to life. But our life hits differently when our finances are in order.
Right.
So for
They do.
those of you who are sitting on the curb, ready to leap into business, don't go to Marketing Way first. I'm gonna need you to get with somebody that's gonna help you, as she said, build your back end part for it first. And I can honestly be one to confess, I'm one of the ones who built it backwards. And there were times, and Nicole has seen me a couple of times. Dejana has seen me a couple of. This ain't our first rodeo. I had to say, wait a minute, hold up, wait, this was supposed to be this way. Oh, my bad.
But you know
But
what?
the beauty about it is we can reach out. I tell them all the time, you have to have a circle of people around you that I can go to, that you can go to, because in some aspect, Dejana was sitting at this level and she pouring into somebody, but then she had to go and sit at this level so somebody could pour into
Point
her.
to her. Come on now.
Right.
Go ahead, Dejana, you were going to say something?
Well, I was just gonna say, like you said, a lot of people want to start with marketing, but if you really just think about it, right? So you have your logo, you got your LLC, you got your business name, you ready to go to marketing, right? What happens when this marketing person brings you this influx of business? Do you have your business customer service standards in place? Do you have your business, like, how do you handle this influx of business? If let's say you're a boutique and now she's marketing this boutique, what how long does it take you to drop these packages off to the post office? Is this posted? Do they understand that it takes 3 to 4 business days? Do they, these are all the questions and things that you're going to run into if something happens. For me as a consultant, I look at all of the what ifs and I try to address them ahead of time and have your retention plans in place and have your frequently asked questions in place and things like that. So that way what's understood doesn't have to be explained. And then you also are creating a brand for yourself, right? So your customer experience, for me, customer experience is so important. So that means, like, for instance, Chick-fil-A. They nailed it. Everybody knows when they go to Chick-fil-A, food is all right. It ain't even just all that.
That
But
part.
the experience that they provide people that make people want to go. They know you're going to get your stuff going to be hot. You're going to get it fast. They're going to greet you with a smile. They're branding themselves. So I
Yeah.
tell people, like with my brick and mortar businesses or even my virtual companies, however you're training your staff, they need to answer the phone a certain way every time. They need to greet your customer a certain way every time. Salutate them a certain way every time. When that package goes out, you need to have a schedule of when it goes out. Stop winging it in business. Stop winging it in business. Really take your business seriously so that you can grow it. So people are going to say, I don't care. Every time I order from them, it comes this fast. Every time I call them, I'm always greeted with a smile. That's how you build a brand, by creating a solid customer experience. And then you duplicate that process and continue to grow your brand. If you want to franchises, for instance, when you buy into a franchise, you're buying into their business model, their brand. You can't go in there changing stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that they do, you have to do it a certain way, just like they do it. You know, they provide their own marketing, they provide all these different things, and that's because they branded themselves to be a certain way. Branding is not just the pictorial aspect of business; it's also the experience of the business. That's branding as well. You're branding your business, so you know, marketing is definitely needed, but you have to be ready for the marketing, which is why Nicole started saying, you know, all my clients got to come to you before they come to me, because at this point, my marketing it's not doing what it needs to do because they're not ready. They come and let me tell y'all something. We get clients say they have spent $10,000, $20,000 on business consulting, and by the time they get to her, they can't even tell her what they're selling, why they're selling it, and who they're selling it to. They go to these conferences and they get motivated,
I'm
but
gonna
then
need you. I'm
you
gonna need
know,
you to quit throwing the shade.
they
Baby,
get
that's not shade at all.
yeah, you know.
Absolutely the truth.
And I tell
Absolutely.
people all the time, I say, you're buying a ticket, you're paying $1,000 for a ticket to a conference from someone who is successful at selling the tickets to the conference.
Right. That part right there. They
You know what I'm
missed that
saying? Like,
part.
she's living her
Wait a
best
minute,
life
wait a
because
minute.
she's selling the ticket to
Dijon,
the
you can't
conference.
brush past that. Hold on. You see she over there about to lose her head. You can't brush past that. You can't brush past that. Say that again. Say it one more
Run
time.
it
I'm
back.
saying you are buying a ticket to the conference from someone who is successful at selling the tickets to the conference.
That part.
These people, a lot of the times, they're not successful at the things that they are speaking about
No.
in the conference. So
No.
when you leave, you're motivated, you hype, you ready to go. But they didn't give you the tools you needed. They didn't tell you how they knew John up the street that had the plug with the banker. You know what I'm saying? That hooked them up with this, or how they worked on their business credit to get this, and then they went to this person that did that, or they knew, you know, Shanae around the corner who did. They're not giving you their tools to success.
No.
They're
None
giving
of
you
that.
just enough to keep you motivated and coming back. That's
Come
it.
on.
She's
Because we
successful at
want you to
selling them tickets.
yeah, we want you to refer a friend.
Yeah, that part, right. Yeah, they on social media, you know, and they make business look very easy, and that's not what business is about. So a
Come
lot of
on,
people are
preach
not,
today.
yeah,
Preach. Yes.
yeah, they starting businesses. It's like it's become a trend, but it's like you have to truly understand business. You have to love
Mm.
what you're doing. You have to really be creating something that is solving a problem, and you have to be passionate about solving that problem. Because
Mm.
if not, then you bump into, and I'm gonna say it because you know our community, we got to do better. You bump into acting like your customers owe you something, and it's always the customer. And I even tell some of my friends and different people I know that's in business. I'm like, look, you always talking about your clients and your customers. It's not always the customers, it's you. I said you're not setting the tone and the expectations for your business. So because you're not doing that, yeah, they coming to you. Yeah, they asking this. Yeah, they doing that because you're not setting the tone and the expectations. You're doing something wrong on your end that is not connecting with the customer. So you take a step back, and you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And you pivot and you make whatever changes you need to do in the business in order to scale it, grow it, and be successful at it. It's okay. And I'm not saying that customers are always right because they're not. But what I'm saying is you have to appreciate the customers that are right because and use those as growing tools. Don't take it personal. It's not personal. It's always business. Take that and grow from it and learn from it and say, you know what? Yeah, I got to do better. That's where I got to tighten up at. Me and
Yeah.
Nicole as consultants, we go through it all the time. We're constantly evolving and tightening things up and doing things different because if I see, okay, it may have been working good now, but now it's not. You know what I'm saying? So that means we have to do
So we
something
got to
different.
shift. We have to shift.
Yeah.
And so many times business owners feel like I arrived when I reached this amount of income in my business, or I arrived when I accomplished this in my business, whatever this is that's important to them. And you're exactly correct. Sometimes we have to understand that if our customers are saying the same thing, there is something that we might need to check, right? And
Mhm.
it's not always about, as you say, going to the front end stuff, the outward stuff that people can see. Because if the marketing chicks is helping you preparing you to bring in. If she's gonna deliver on what she says, right? She's going to deliver, and she's gonna keep going until she delivers. So if she tells you that she's gonna bring in 5,000, 10,000 people that will come your way, somebody between her and Deshaun, they're gonna ask, "What's your onboarding process?" Oh, well, yeah, we not bringing you these customers.
Yeah, because
Because me looking bad.
Mm-hmm. But not only that, you're gonna now lose all of the potential customers that you would have had. So now you've had these 10,000 people come to visit your site. They're never gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? They're not coming back. The experience wasn't there. You don't have an onboarding process. I'm not coming back. Why would I?
And then I'm gonna tell somebody, and they not gonna ever come.
And they not coming either. Right. And I'm on to the next because we're in a scrolling, time. So I tell you got 5 to 10 seconds to capture your client's attention.
And
you better do it right. I'm talking about, and that consultant on the back end comes from how many clicks it takes to what, how much they want to do all these funnels, and funnels are cool, but I'm tired I don't want to do all that clicking. Don't keep putting all these pop-ups for me. Because I'm a person whose attention span is not that long. My attention span can be real short. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with it, but just be mindful of your customer and make sure that you make it seamless for them. You know what I'm saying? So all of that is about make it easy. Yeah,
that's right.
All of that is about the experience. Because you get to, by the time they get to that 10th click, they done already had buyer's remorse before they done bought it. They done thought about all that. All those reviews and things that they got to say.
They on click forward talking about some. You know what? Such and such site didn't have as much.
Didn't have it.
Yes.
So Deshauna, I have enjoyed your testimony, and it really speaks to a lot of what I tell the audience. When we talk about creating that savings plan, a lot of them have not began saving. Right? They don't save on a consistent basis. So I tell them to start small. It's creating the habit first so that when the money shifts, all you have to do is change the deposit because the habit is there. Every Friday you're going to dump change out of the bottom of your purse. You know what? We had a bomb party this weekend. Who dropped something in the couch cushions this here weekend? Who left me a little small deposit? That goes that money is set aside for something in particular. I like how you said making sure that you have a tax account, you have your business checking account, you have your personal checking account, you have your savings account. And then I tell them to go even further because every dollar has to have a job. Because if not, it's going to run around and act like a plum fool and do the one thing, disappear on you. You be like, I wrote this 20 this morning. I can account for what I spent the 20 on. But after a couple of days, you have no idea where the change from that $20 bill went. Just imagine if you wrote 2, 3, 4 of them over the course of a week. You're going to miss $40, $50 by not knowing where your money went. Even if you just leave it in your checking account, you don't remember that you didn't swipe 4 times and you didn't put 3 things on auto pay. So when you see that money sitting in the account, well, I'm good. I can go buy this, I buy that. And then you know how you find out? NSF fee. NSF fee, return check fee, or you know what? The power don't come on. I put that, it's on auto pay. Yeah, it's on auto pay, but the auto money wasn't there.
Right.
It auto bounced, okay?
Yeah.
I tell them to start breaking get you an account, get you a bank that allows you to have multiple savings accounts. So your checking account, in my opinion, is your landing spot. It's where your check lands. It's where the deposit lands. And then by Monday, or if your check come Thursday night after midnight, on Friday, all them things need to be splitting off into other accounts. Your pay myself first account, your savings account, your tithing account, your grocery account, your utility account, your car note, anything that you pay on a consistent basis, we're going to develop a plan so that money is taken out and make it easy for you. Because too many people trying to pay. You got 17 bills over the course of a month, but you get paid twice. I'm going to need you to pay your bills on them 2 pay dates. Not all of them due dates because you're
Right.
gonna be tired. Okay,
Mhm.
you're gonna buy something, you're gonna be
Yeah.
tired trying to pay
You
them
feel
bills.
like I keep paying stuff all the time.
Right. Every time I turn around, I'm paying. No, boo, because that's not the right way. I tell anybody, anything that you do I'm still on my 9 to 5. And I'm constantly telling my team members, the first thing I asked them when I became their lead, what's your work process?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You'd have thought I said something in Swahili Spanish.
Right, because they look at you with that Scooby Doo look.
Say what now?
That's how they do it.
When your business, Dejana gonna sit there, okay, what's your process? And I know
What's your budget?
because she asked
What's
me,
your
what's your budget, and then your process, because your process don't matter if your budget ain't right. Now I'm not
know it.
They actually get to, depending on what your budget is, whether right now or now and then a few such and such, whatever that such and such works out to be, what can we do for you now? What can we do for you then? Right? Because what I love about her and what I love about Nicole is that when they come together to do some work, they both have a passion for the small business owners. Right? They have corporate clients that's kicking their butt when it comes to paying them to get some major work done, right? But their passion is because they were both small business owners building. They have that passion for you, but they'll tell you in a minute. Let me tell you, Dejana is the quiet one. Nicole will cuss you slap out. She'd be like, what the baby, take that over there. Go on, take that over there. I ain't telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you, take it over there. And Nicole don't want you calling her before. Don't bother her before 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, depending on what day it is. And if it's a Saturday or Sunday, don't bother her at all. When you talk about setting the expectation, you cross that line, she gonna put you all on blast on social media, and she don't care. You get in your feelings if you want to. Take your feelings out of it because she's trying to show you steps in the process. Dejana, she look quiet with hers, but don't get it twisted. Girl, got to. She just gonna do it in a quiet way.
You know what, Nicole? What people need the services that you offer, because this is the thing. The word budget scared me. I was scared of budget, right? I never wanted to look at my account for a long time and see what I was doing with my money. I knew I was making, I knew I was surviving, but I knew I was also on some BS, right? Yeah. I was living out of that business account. I was living my best life. I'm out here, I'm kicking it. It's everything on me. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, look, I didn't realize how much money I was making. So I created a spreadsheet. And what I started doing was every time I would make money, I put it in a spreadsheet. I had another page for my expenses and things like that. So I was looking, y'all, I looked at how much money I was making. And then I looked at my accounts. And I was like, this math ain't mathing. Because
it ain't enough.
The math is not mathing, because even with my bills, the math should be a little different from this, but once I started doing that, it makes you mindful of the money you're spending. You gotta face your demons. Yeah. Because when you're an entrepreneur, that money is coming in. Because when you work a job, you know exactly how much you're gonna make, you know what I'm saying, consistently. But when you're an entrepreneur, you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. You have to be prepared and you have to be ready for whatever. I can have a really slow week, and then the next week I might make enough that would be on average what I might make for a month. But then I might not make nothing for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so you don't know what tomorrow brings. So you have to be prepared, you have to budget, and you have to understand, you have to have a good relationship with money. You have to have a good relationship with money. You have to understand how money works, and money works for you, and how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't work for money. You make money work for you. So when you understand your budget, you understand what you're bringing in, and you face your own demons, you understand that you're spending too much money eating out. You're spending too much money doing this. Because, honey, my eat out budget, it was embarrassing.
I know.
I didn't even want to.
Most of my clients, their eat out budget is as high or very close to what they pay for the roof over their head.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And we just talking
And
about
you know
eat out.
what it is?
Not talking about entertainment.
And it turns out that, and Paulette's like, oh my God, you know what you have? I'm busy. I'm so busy that I can't cook, or I deserve this. I don't feel like cooking, so I've earned it. So we're talking about the entitlement. We're talking about the mismanagement. So when she says face your demons, I tell you that we got to deal with your trauma.
Yeah.
And that is really where we're coming into looking at what has caused you to process things this way. Why is it that you think it's okay? And I'll use a client. She live in California. Now, California, you already know, California, New York, those are the and Hawaii, the three most
They high.
expensive states in the union, right?
Yes,
But
indeed.
but people buy for a house with 5 acres of land in one state, in New York, it's gonna get you a studio, perhaps, okay, at the in the brownstone, okay.
In the
You might be
brownstone,
able to get
yeah.
a studio in the brownstone in
That
the
part.
back,
Might.
okay.
In the back.
But she lived in California. Her grocery budget was about 2 grand a month for her and a family. She had 2 or 3 daughters, and they were young kids, and she had a husband. So so we're talking a decent salaries coming into the household. But the grocery budget for the month was about 2 grand, but the eat out budget was almost double that.
Mm.
And so we're talking, okay, so the meals in between, at work, the breakfast for both, or all, lunch, what, we going at the family going out to dinner. Okay, cool. Now, we talking about 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't never talking about anything under $200 ever for
Ever.
5 people in a restaurant, unless you going to McDonald's. And then and it wasn't that she couldn't afford it. That was the thing. She could afford to do it. They could afford to do it. But when I started telling her this what I did. Let me run this tape on you. Do you see what that number says? What could you have done with this number? And that was the look of, I feel exposed. And I'm gonna expose you in love. I'm going to expose you in knowledge and truth, because that 10, 12, 13, $15,000 could have paid off 4 or 5 your credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So when we talk about dealing with the demons, that to me is the financial trauma, and that is where the mindset shift has to occur for the consumers. And I like to work with the consumers, and even those who are budding entrepreneurs. You know why? Because I got to catch you in your personal finance, because otherwise you're going to take that right on into your business, and now you're struggling in your personal and your business. You're struggling in both, because the habits, the root cause of the problem, people may not think about it like this, but you need to think about it like this. Mismanagement of your money on a consistent basis is financial trauma, and I'm your financial therapist.
All right.
You go to therapy to get healed. So what I'm going to do is, this is a great time. I always have fun on our shows. Dejana, how you feeling, baby?
I'm loving. I'm enjoying myself.
Listen, look, before this morning, she was like, Nicole. I said, I know. Don't worry, we're gonna have some fun. You're gonna be just fine. She said, but I said, you're gonna be fine. But you gonna be fine. Because we want you guys, this is conversation. What I know the audience, our audience that catches us, whether they're live or on the replay, you have some everyday women who are looking for information that everybody wants to put a price tag on everything. And what I believe is that, when we share our stories and our testimonies and our experiences, it's a gateway to conversation, but it's a hand up. It's not a handout.
Come on, somebody.
We're extending that olive branch. We're extending that hand up to you. So now I want you to know that we're people who we're going to charge for our services. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted.
Amen.
Okay, Pat. we can pass the collection plate right there. We're going to charge for our services, but we understand where you are and we understand what you've been through. We understand what you're dealing with. And so, can we work with you? Absolutely. Will it be to what you might think? No, you might have to put in a little sweat equity. You might have to do a little piece here and then a little piece here and then get yourself together and come back when it's all together. But I truly believe if you hang around the people who are successful, that success is going to start to rub off on you. Because either you have to change your habit to follow them or you're going to go somewhere else. One of the two things. But whatever it is, it's your choice. It is your choice. So, Dejana, what I thank you so much, sweetheart, for being here. It is a breath of fresh air. It is always good to have young adults because you ain't in our age category.
Hey, watch it.
I said hour. I didn't say Tony's. Okay, I
I'm
said
included in
hour.
that hour.
You
Is I invisible? Y'all can't see me.
I can't with him. You are not in our age category, so it really is refreshing to me to see our younger generation.
Yes.
Really getting out here and embracing and doing positive stuff. And it's people like you that don't get the spotlight enough because there's too many cuckoo and for Cocoa Puff folk and people out there that they want to keep spotlighting. And again, our platform is for us to be able to change the narrative for our community. And if we don't change it now, when it's still being told wrong in 40 years, 50 years, when you have now become our age and we've gone a little season, we might not even be here, then it's our fault. The same way you feel like you've got to pave the way for your sisters. If they can't see an example, then you need to be the example. And I'm so excited for them that you are the example. You're not relying on the superstars of the world to be their role model. They have a living, breathing role model. They can pick up and say, "Hey, sis, how do I handle this?" And that is what our community needs. So I am going to put Dejana's website back up here. She has a form on her website if you want more information on how to work with her. I ain't saying you're going to get a pick your brain session. I ain't saying that at all. But, she will definitely get you pointed in the right direction, whether it's her right now or whether it's her in about 3 or 4 months. Whatever it is, it's her. Okay. And I want you guys to hear something. This is how important it was for me because Dejana does financial services for business owners. I do financial services for business owners. You know what? It's enough for me and her. And if I help them, I'm going to send them to her and hopefully she does the same because it's a billion plus people in this world.
Come on, somebody.
But if I want to see Black Wall Street return to my community, I have to help it start by being the example. So I love her dearly. If Nicole is listening, I'm sure that's her. One of them people up there that's looking and watching and listening. I'm sure that's her because she had to make sure I treated her girls right.
Treat me right. Gotta treat me right, Nicole. I told Nicole she did not Wendy Williams me, Dr. Paulette. I said,
she sure did. She sure did. She not give me on this Wendy Williams me. Yeah, she sure did. I was like, oh,
like, look, we don't get out like that. I said,
no.
She show up at my door. She got my address.
I love it.
But Dejana, any last words, commentary for the people before we go?
I will say this. So, let me say it's my sisters and I have a brother because he see this.
Hey, brother, man.
My brother, that's my ace. That's my ace. But I will say this. Create, if you don't have a network of net worth, be the head of the table to build one. So with my siblings, what I told them, what we're doing now, we're doing a weekly Zoom. And my daughter's in it too. My daughter's 19. We're doing a weekly Zoom. We're building business credit together. We're outlining different things that we want to do and get done, and we're holding each other accountable to do that. If you have stop trying to be the person that do everything by them. I want to say I did it by myself. That's not okay
That's not
because you
okay.
can't do
No.
everything by yourself. If you got 10 people that you can pour into and y'all pour into each other, build that credit together, understand money and how it works, and y'all can each walk in the bank and get $100,000 a piece. That's $1 million access.
Thank you.
You know, that's $1 million access. You have access to $1 million. Imagine what you can do to that as a conglomerate, of people that come together to build something. Now you take that million and you flip it into 10 million. Now you each have $1 million. Now, if y'all want to stay together and continue building, you do that. If not, now you have $1 million that you can go and invest into whatever it is that you want to invest in. And then you reach back. I feel like we got to start it with our younger generation. My daughter's age 19, 20, 21. Teach them the value of money, help them to build, because right now they got fresh credit. You know what I'm saying? We can get them together, help them to build their network of network. But do it within your family, friends, or just people that you don't know. Get around people, put yourself in uncomfortable positions. I put myself in an uncomfortable position financially and things like that all the time because I'm not gonna drown. I don't want to drown. I'm a doggy pedal my way up out of that.
You better
and
know.
Mr. Doggy pedaling, I'm reaching and grabbing, I'm learning new things and new tools. I'm creating new revenue. I'm creating new things for myself because I don't want to drown. I don't want to lose nothing I have. So I jump out there into that ocean, and I don't know if I'm gonna sink or drown without a life jacket, but I know I'm gonna be okay because I'm operating out of faith. One, you can't lose like that. And two, I'm not gonna drown because I like to live and I want to breathe. So I'm gonna doggy pedal right on into success. But don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of the money, and reach out to people and get the help you need. You cannot be the end all be all for your business. You have to know when to delegate. And putting the right people in the right place at the right time is what grows you and your business. So, keep that in mind. But I appreciate you guys for having me too, Nicole and Dr. Paulette and DJ Tony Sanchez. It has been a joy. I look forward to seeing the event that you guys are having. I'm gonna see what it's about and see if I can attend, however it is, whether it's online or in person or whatever the case may be. I want to do more of these. So I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity, Nicole.
I'm glad you came out, and I'm gonna turn it over to DJ Tony and see what his last words are for the evening.
Okay, once again, my queens, thank you for a fantastic evening, man. This was so informational right here. Dejana, oh girl, you hit me with this right here when you said about that repetition piece. Repetition. And I took it like repetition creates habits, be them good or bad. Be them good or bad. But the bottom line is, whatever you doing in repetition, it's your choice. So you get to choose. Either you're going to continue to keep doing this that is failing, or you're going to go on and make that faith leap like you talked about into the unknown with the expectation that I know I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't bring me this far to leave me now. I got to continue this journey. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for that. And now you got me even more hyped to continue to say we all we got and stand on it.
That's right.
Listen. So Paulette, before I close out, Paulette gonna give some last words. Paulette is wait a minute, let me make sure I find the right picture. There we go. So Paulette publishes the Brownstone Worldwide, which broadcasts on KCCR Radio. But we have a lovely magazine. Let me see, Tony. Let me see that picture Tony got back there. So this is the March version of the magazine, the ladies' first issue, where it's nothing but women galore. I think it's a guy in there, but I don't really remember because
I wasn't paying them no attention. I was looking at all them fine queens.
Whatever. But this was all about ladies. Yeah. So Paulette just, we even when we're online, we're on live, we still communicate through our chat. And so when you started talking, she said about 40 minutes ago, she needs to be in the next issue. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this behind off stage. But we are publishing the April well, she's working on the April issue, and April is all about financial literacy month. So we are talking about the money. So Paulette is extending an invitation for you to be a part of the Brownstone Living issue for the month of April. So go ahead, Paulette, with any last.
You okay? Is she okay? You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. I didn't hear you. So really quick, I'm gonna keep it really quick and simple. This was a very informative and passionate show. It is clear that you are clear about what you do, and I appreciate that. We need more people that are like that, and just going to keep it 100 with the people. That's so important. To Nicole's point, I just wanted to point out that we definitely do have another event that's coming up that is a part of Girl Your Money Matters, and she ain't even bring it up. There you go, right there, ma'am. There you go. I'm teasing. So listen, the Power Prosperity Legacy Summit is coming up. If you guys want to definitely be a part of that, I would encourage you to go ahead and register now. Register now. There is a bit.ly link that you can get. It is bit.ly/Legacy Summit GYMM, and that is for Girl Your Money Matters. In about a week or two, we'll probably start sending out some communication to you guys so you'll know how to register, all the cool things that you need to do to get started for this. I'm excited for it because I know some of the speakers that are going to be there, and all of the things that Nicole is going to be putting down. So I'm excited for that. But I just wanted to kind of come on here and just say I've really enjoyed today. It was pretty cool. You know what? Nicole is going to stop bringing folks to the altar at the end. That's what. Come on up and have any final words, Pastor. Pastor, any final words? Any parting words? Amen.
Amen.
Stop. All right, so I'm gonna pass it back to you. So once again, we appreciate you and everything that you bring to the Brownstone as always, Nicole.
Thank you. I love being a part of the Brownstone family, the on-air personalities, the support that's received is really a community that I try to provide for the people who are connected to me. And so to also turn around and be invited to, and brought into the fold the way that I have been here is just a true reminder that what we're doing is working. What we are doing is working. And so as I watched Paulette, grow this platform, when I started with her in September, I was a part of the first round of on-air personalities that came on board, and now that was September. That hasn't even been a year ago. That was September last year, September of 22. Now we're looking in March of 2023, and we already have a waiting list. She's got a whole waiting list for people to be involved with her platform. And so again, and Dejana, if I didn't mention, this might be a little bit before your time, it might not be, but Paulette is a founding member of Arrested Development.
Oh no, I know Arrested Development. I am an 80s baby.
Okay,
I'm
now.
an 80s
Okay.
baby.
So you
Early
grew up
80s.
listening to her. To the,
Nicole, just quit.
Wow.
listen. I am the Nicole Johnson. I am the founder and CEO of Girl Your Money Matters, affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. I get more and more excited as we have more and more of the entrepreneur women come on to be not just recognized, but celebrated during Women's History Month. And as much as I know there's so many people in the past who have gone before us, who brought the torch that we could recognize and honor, I love even more being able to recognize those that are right here living in the present, doing exactly what I'm telling the community that they too can do. If we want to see what Black Wall Street looks like, we have to be what we want to see.
Mm.
Okay. We have to be it so that we can see. I need to be, to those of you who are listening, what I needed when I was sitting in your spot.
That part. Yeah, absolutely.
Right there.
Agree.
Yeah.
As DJ said, We all we got.
We
Thank
all
you
we
guys
got.
so much, Dejana. Thank you again for being here. Paulette, thank you for the platform, for your fortitude to keep moving forward and building this. DJ Tony, your support and wisdom is
All
unmatched.
right, Tony. Yes.
It is unmatched. So thank you again. And we shall see you guys on Thursday, a
Yeah.
special edition of Girl Your Money Matters during Women's History Month with yet another Black woman coming to us to say how better money management and budgeting helps them live the life that they so desire. You guys take it in and make sure you label every dollar. I'll see you
All
next
right. Yeah.
Shine on my queens. Shine on my queens.
time.